Welcome to this week's Football Fan Show podcast. I'm Danny Harrington, joined by Callum Brown this week. On the show today, we are chatting Manchester United twice, two stories. Should they replace Ole Gunnar Solskjær with a more competent manager? At Tottenham, did they appoint the wrong manager? Their fans seem to think so after their 3-1 defeat to Arsenal in the North London derby. And our second Manchester United talking point, Donny Van de Beek. Should he hand in a transfer request? Before all of that, though, let's talk about this. European Super League is back in the news.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah, UEFA has halted its disciplinary action against Barcelona, Juventus and Real Madrid. I reckon UEFA... Halted. I reckon UEFA have just looked at all three clubs and gone, they're pretty shit, aren't they? Do we really need to punish them?
Sorry for them. Yeah.
I don't think UEFA feels sorry for them. I don't think UEFA as an organisation, I don't think it has much empathy.
No.
Otherwise, the Ajax third kit would not be banned.
Why is it banned?
Because it has three little birds on the back of it, and they're like, no, it's got nothing to do with the club, so it's a commercial endorsement, so we can't allow that.
Okay.
Even though it's the fastest selling football shirt in the world.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I saw that. I saw the advert for that, and I thought that's very nice.
Yeah, very good shirt.
I mean, just about so it's Barca, Real, and Juventus, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I can understand not feeling bad for Real because you got Florentino, aka Dickhead Perez, in charge.
Fake news, president.
Say that in a Spanish accent.
Fake news. That's more Italiano. That's more Italiano.
Wow. But yeah, so them and Juventus, they're not really sort of, they can't just be bad average, but Barca are literally becoming
the banter club of Spain. They're the Arsenal of Europe.
Well, pretty much. Like they're getting hammered. Like,
I'm loving every single moment of this. We're going to get into the Champions League a little bit later on, but yes, they've been hammered twice now.
Yeah,
I
know it was Bayern, but then Benfica,
Benfica, and they only got one shot on target that entire game as well. It was dire.
It's like, I don't even know who's gonna save. Like you're saying, like Xavi's favourites go in, and it's like, I wouldn't even go near it. It's a poison chalice. If I've ever seen one.
News from Barcelona, which in fact we'll get to that news a little bit later on that because we'll go into it when we talk about the Champions League. But why has the action stopped? Well, Barca, Real, and Juventus have the backing of a court in Madrid, which in April ruled UEFA could not take any action against the Super League because it represented an infringement of European free trade laws. The man is saying this. So
yeah, but didn't we were saying, weren't we, that UEFA were confident that this was a load of horse shit and they were still going to punish them? They were confident about it.
Yeah.
And then now they come to it and they're going, oh, well, we can't really do much now. So I know we promised we were going to punish them, but we can't really.
So all the English teams and the Italian teams that pulled out have been punished and were very sorry. Like a child being told off by their school teacher. We're really sorry, UEFA. And then they paid But the
ones who decided to be cheeky little assholes and stay in it.
The cool kids.
They're not punished. The cool kids.
The cool kids who grow up to be balding middle-aged men who work for Royal Mail.
Well, I was going to say
that's a very specific example. It is a specific example. I'm thinking of a person.
I was going to say, like, they're the ones who are the trouble causers, have special needs and end up like doing drugs like when like 13.
They're just idiots. Yeah, stupid people. Yeah. On this, by the way, Inter Milan. You want to know how much money they lost last season in Serie A?
Wasn't it like a record for like the most loss reported by an Italian club?
Record-breaking £211 million. Jesus wept.
Yeah, that's why they had to sell all the bloody players, because their owners lost that much bloody money.
Yeah, Suning.
Yeah.
Who shut down their CSL club, which we did briefly mention last week. But Inter Milan,
like
first league title for 11 years.
Like, don't you get like more money for winning Serie A? Like, didn't Inter
clearly not enough?
nowhere near enough. Like, imagine being Mancini and those players who've just, you've just won the Scudetto, won the Serie A. You're loving life. You've finally broken the Juventus's streak, and it's like, oh well, we've got no money. Sorry, that player's got to go. That player's got to go. Oh, and that player's got to go. It's like it's a kick in the teeth to those, isn't it?
Well, that's why
Black Hole.
Conte's not there and all that, and that's why
That's it.
he just
Conte.
went sod it.
Why did I say? I said Mancini, bloody hell.
He's the Italian boss.
Yeah.
To be fair, Mancini did win the Serie A with Inter, but
I'm getting mixed up. So sorry, Conte. What I said, like, he's a very good manager and he's done a very good job with them. Got a really good team together. He just won the Serie A and he's been kicked, and the whole squad and the club been kicked in the teeth.
Couldn't agree more.
Like, they're bottom of their group, aren't they? The one that Sheriff's in.
Yes.
Inter are bottom of their group.
They're terrible. They're
not going to even get into the Europa League.
I mean, I don't know how European football is working this year, but I don't know if the third place teams in the group actually end up in the Europa League or whether they just get eliminated. I don't know. So Inter Milan not having a good time of it at the moment. Before we we'll talk about the Champions League a little bit later, and we'll chat about our new favourite football team that's going to win the Champions League. Where do we want to go next? Manchester United, then Tottenham, then back to Manchester United. Let's do that and talk about the time to replace Schmeichel in charge of Manchester United. Fred,
either one.
Fred is he must be sat there in the dressing room going, Fred, you start, my precious. Because I literally have no fucking idea why he's in the squad. Why he's even in that team. He would be transfer listed minute one if any other manager were in charge. Surely.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure when they bought him, was it like 50 million or something from Shakhtar? And he I don't know how he's still there. Yeah, it's basically like, I mean, I lost my thoughts now.
47 million pounds he cost him, and he is that, by the way, was 47 million pounds too much. It turns out.
But literally, like, he's 5'7". He is like, he's not like, he's got a name called Fred. Like, when you have Brazilian players with Fred as their name, like, no, right? He's not a defensive midfielder, right? He is not a good player, right? You've got good players on the bench who are all better players than him, and yet he knows all these little dirty secrets. He's seen.
He must know.
Ollie
He's got some dirt on Ollie. Let's say it. Let's put it that way.
Like, and to be fair, so is McTominay. Right? Scott McTominay is Scottish. He looks Scottish, and he's just a big burly fella. Whereas Fred is a little midget Brazilian, so-called Brazilian, who is just awful. So he's bore witness to Ollie, like, transforming into Schmeichel, going off on his adventure with the hobbits. And Ollie said to him, "Don't tell anyone, and I'll play you every match. We all know you're awful, but I'll keep playing you, and you can keep pick up your wage each week and steal a living."
Fred should not be in that team, and we'll get on to Van de Beek in a minute, because he should be in that team. We'll tackle two birds with one stone. We'll get on to Van de Beek in a bit, because he's also somebody that we need to talk about. The fact that I was chatting about it. We were talking about it earlier. Went on Twitter. How is Fred? Trending on the Twitter, and it's just Manchester United fans going, how is he in this team? How has he cost this much money? Why is he playing? Why? Or how? And when you've got ex-Manchester United players now coming out and saying that Fred is just disastrous, like Owen Hargreaves has slammed him. I think Ferdinand's come in for a bit of criticism on Fred as well. So, it's just... Oh, here you go. Owen Hargreaves said, Sir Alex Ferguson wouldn't have forgiven Fred.
He should... Yeah, I mean, he's just seems to be the problem all the time. It always seems to be whenever you think of Man United making mistakes and that, it always seems to be Fred.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I put McTominay into this because I don't think he's much better. You know, there's a reason they're called McFred, because it's banter. Because there's not very like there's a reason why he's playing both of them together because he doesn't. I mean, I'm not gonna say like in all honesty, right? I know we take the piss in that, saying like there's favourites and that, but he honestly doesn't trust the others enough. We'll obviously go on to Van de Beek in a moment, as you said, but he obviously trusts them too. No idea why. Like he's their best mates. He comes and gives Fred a hug in the morning. Come here, Freddie. Gives him a little nuggie on the
Who's
head.
a good boy? Who's a good
He's a
Fred?
good boy, yeah. And he has a can of Iron Brew with
Well,
Scott
actually, no.
McTominay.
Do you think it's the other way around? Do you think Fred's like, who's a good manager? I think Fred's got the upper hand in that relationship.
Either way, right? He doesn't play one holding midfielder, plays two, but they're not defensive midfielders. They're both box to box, you'd say.
So what
But
you're saying is if you play Fred in the correct position, then you might actually get a decent performance out of him.
no, I mean not for. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you actually played
Somewhere near his...
If you played Matic in the sixth and played McTominay as a box to box, have Fred just away from that squad, have Pogba or whatever there or Bruno, and then you can have your forward players. You need to have a proper spine. McTominay and Fred are just weak and just. I heard who was it? Was it Rio Ferdinand that earlier today saying all the title winning sides have had a proper defensive specialist, one of them. So Fernandinho for City, Fabinho for us. You look at any of the best teams had one hold midfielder, right?
Yeah.
What you never see a title winning side have two open players because what that does is it just limits you going forward, and all it does it just means that you don't trust the midfielders you've got. Can't trust one of them. You have to have two of them
Yeah.
to do the defensive
I would just
duties.
drop both of them and play Van de Beek, but yeah.
But Van de Beek, if it was me, right, and obviously I don't give a shit about United at all, but if it was me, I'd have Matic there or buy a proper defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
And then you'd have a Van de Beek or a McTominay or a Bruno or a Pogba in those number 8 sort of attacking positions, and just have just have your sort of your defensive midfielder as the sweeper, as the controls the tempo but breaks up play.
Yeah.
World class quality. Fernandinho, as I said, Rodri, Fabinho. I mean, I said for me, Fabinho is the best DM in the world. I mean, that's just me. That's just me being biased, but he just always seems to be in the right position at the right time,
Yeah.
and he does the job of two players in McTominay and Fred, but takes up one position. That's the kind of player you need. They're never going to win a league title or a Champions League with them two there.
Yeah.
Just not very good players.
Yeah, they've got
And
off to a pretty rough start this season as the noose tightens around Ole's throat, so to
well, that's
speak.
another story. I mean,
Uh,
obviously, it's banter now. I mean, we obviously see all the fans saying, "Give all your lifetime contract." As I was saying to you before, give them just enough sort of mediocrity that keeps them around, but not go too bad where they sack them. So just give them just enough to keep holding because we like Holly because he keeps them. He limits Man United how far Man United can go.
um, Poch is the favourite at the moment to replace Ole at Manchester United. I don't see him leaving PSG.
Why would Poch go there?
No.
He's got one of the
Apparently
best
he's
front
still...
in the world.
Yeah, but if he falls out with Messi, he's fucked.
But where have the signs been? Like, there's more signs of Ollie and the club, Man United falling out with you, Ronaldo stropping off the pitch at the end of the match, than Messi falling out with Poch. Like I haven't. Poch
I
is
mean,
in
the
a
only...
much stronger position now than Ollie is with United because the top I think aren't the unbeaten in League One, or at least they're just well clear at the top, which is expected. They've just beat Man City in the Champions League, so they're looking all right for that. Yeah, so why would Poch go there? I just don't. It should be a step down.
It's strange when Manchester United is a step down from PSG. That's a weird world. That's a weird world. But apparently he might still be unhappy at Paris, like there were those rumours in the summer. I don't see why he would leave, but if he falls out with Messi, then he's gone. And I think Messi's dropped off once already this season. But that was, and then Poch came out and said he's got a knee injury or something, so that's why he hasn't scored. And yet now he's scored, so it's all good. So
it's good. Yeah.
Brendan Rodgers is second favourite. If you know what, actually, where Leicester City are at the moment, if I was Brendan Rodgers, I'd take it. I'd snap Manchester United's hand off because Leicester are on their way down, like down the table, not down, not down to the Championship. They're not a top 4 team. They're not even a top 5 team anymore. They're playing so badly.
Thing is, I can't comment on this because I don't want a former Liverpool manager to go manage Man United.
But loyalty's dead. Hang on, you've got Rafa Benitez managing Everton.
Yeah, but that's different.
Is it though?
Because I don't hate Everton, like they're rivals and that, but I don't hate them.
But if Everton started winning everything,
like if they started winning everything, then I'd be like, no, get back down to the mediocrity where you've always been. And I love Rafa too much. But if Brendan Rodgers went and took over Man United, maybe it'd be different because I don't love Brendan Rodgers as much as I love Rafa. Because Rafa holds a special place. But I've got good memories of when Brendan Rodgers was manager, and if he went to Man United, it would. I this would Rodgers... affect me a lot more than I think Rafa being at Everton.
All right, for me. Enough. I think Brendan Rodgers, if he was offered that job, should snap. Oh,
he should, but I hope he doesn't.
I think he should snap their hands off. I've got to be honest with you. So I think he should snap their hand off because Leicester are on their way down the table. Sean's not in the chat anymore, is she? She's a Leicester fan. Hopefully not. I don't think she is, thank God. Zinedine Zidane, and number 3. No, thank you. No, I don't think so. And I'm just going to message a Leicester fan saying, we were just talking about your club.
If Zidane came in, all you'd see is him and Pogba dabbing at the edge of the pitch. Literally.
And by the way, if Manchester United really do want to play in the Championship so badly, then appoint Zinedine Zidane because he's rubbish.
Or better choice than Zidane, Big Sam.
Well, actually, the 4th favourite is Gareth Southgate.
What? Like, where are you getting this list from? Every single bloody week, you seem to be getting these odds lists from somewhere with just random shit names out the bag. Seriously, where are you getting these names from? Because they're awful.
Paddy Power, right? So, well, it's actually an accumulation of different bookmakers, but
well, it's awful. Get rid of it. Awful. Gareth Southgate. Jesus.
So, hey, that'd be a fantastic appointment for Gareth Southgate.
Actually, no. Get Southgate because he'd take it right down. Jesus.
Conte's one of the favourites as well, 2-1. Antonio Conte is actually he's favourite above Poch. Actually, Antonio Conte. I could. The problem with Conte is that I could see Manchester United fans being sour because of the way he plays. He gets his team to play.
Yeah, because what he does, he plays a 3 at the back, and he plays very sort of not defensively, but he makes them solid first.
It's very Italian.
Very Italian.
Very Italian.
He plays how when Juventus were in the prime under Allegri, with sort of 3 solid centre halves, solid physical midfielders, and then you let them go with the fair players do it. Yeah. That's how Conte done it with Inter. So I think if he went into Man United, he wouldn't like the way he plays.
No, they wouldn't. So I've got these odds from Sky Bet. So Antonio Conte is 2-1, Poch is 5-1, Rodgers is 8-1, Julian Lopetegui – where's he managing now? Lopetegui is he?
It's Sevilla, isn't it?
Sevilla. Yes. Sorry. Yeah. It is still Sevilla. That he's still managing. I mean that wouldn't work for me. Lopetegui, he had his chance at the top at Real Madrid. I know that was a bad club to manage when he did, but
he went at the completely wrong time.
Laurent Blanc is 12-1. I would say no to that. Then Zinedine Zidane at 12-1. Why is Eric Ten Hag linked with every fucking job?
Yeah,
every job. Eric Ten Hag is on that list, and I literally don't understand why.
Neither do I. But the only reason why Laurent Blanc's even down there is because he played for Man United. That's it. So you may as well just contact every bloody former Man United player and say, "Do you want to be on this list to link you with the Man United job? Because you play for us, and it'd be a good name to have on there." But I mean, with the Eric Ten Hag thing, it's just because he's, you're looking at the top managers in every league in Europe. So you could literally go to the top Lithuanian team, get their manager, and go, "Yeah, do you want to link with this job somewhere else?"
I mean, I didn't realise he played for Manchester United, Laurent Blanc.
Yeah, he did.
For like 2 seasons. I'm just discovering it now, between 2001 and 2000. That was a useless signing. They didn't need him at all. I mean, they should just get Roy Keane. He'll sort them out.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He'll just... Apparently, when he was manager of Sunderland, he just went to his players and went, "We're shit, we're going down."
I mean, that is just Roy Keane all over, isn't it? He's not gonna try and BS them, is he?
No. Nagelsmann 16-1, not going to take the job. Roberto Mancini 16-1, also not going to take the job. And then Gareth Southgate is 20-1.
Julian Nagelsmann, he's at Bayern.
Yeah, why would he take the Manchester United job?
Why would he take so many steps down?
Yeah, he's 16-1. He's managing the best team in Germany, and that pains me to say as an 1860 fan. But
yeah, unfortunately, Bayern are just the best team there.
They are. Bayern Munich are not the best team in Germany. They are German football. They're not the best team in German football. They are German football. It's them. That's it. Borussia Dortmund are a million miles behind. Leipzig are having an awful season at the moment.
Yeah.
They're a disaster. That American's going to get sacked eventually.
Yeah, Jesse March. I've seen question marks over them because they haven't won yet, or they've...
I mean, they lost. Didn't they lose to... Who did they lose to in the Champions League? We'll get onto it in a bit, but they did lose in the Champions League. But yeah, it's a terrible performance. But yeah, they're just not getting... They've not got off to a very good start this season. All right, Tottenham.
Right.
The new banter club. Nuno is apparently the wrong choice. He was always the wrong choice.
The list of banter clubs.
Yeah. He was always the wrong choice. I mean, to be fair, Tottenham fans never wanted him in the first place. But you know what we said in the summer? No one wants the fucking Tottenham job, and Nuno was just stood there going, "I'm right here. I'm literally the only person in line." And you know what Daniel Levy was doing? He was just going. He's on his list going. He's got a list of managers. And he's like, Nuno's right at the bottom, and he's just tapping his board with his pen, going, literally anyone. Postman over there. Do you want the job? No. Milkman. Do you want the job? No. No. All right, Nuno. Let's have a fucking interview.
Nuno, are you the only one who said yeah? Yeah. Okay.
Fuck's sake, Nuno. Okay. Yeah. We'll finally give you the job then.
To be honest, it's a toxic situation now, because
they never wanted him. He was the only one that wanted the job.
Yeah.
So they just gave it to him.
They've just not got very good players. Like, you look at the team, right? Let's go through the team. Hang on. So, the captain. Actually, I don't think he's Tottenham's captain. Hugo Lloris.
Right. Yeah. He sometimes wears the armband, but Kane is the captain.
France national team captain plays every single bloody match. Is meant to be really good, not that good. You look at the defence. So they just brought in Emerson Royal from Barca. I haven't seen much of him yet. Seems to be a promising talent.
Oh no, Hugo Lloris is the captain. It's Harry Kane that's the vice captain. Sorry, yeah. Hugo Lloris is the captain. Nope, Kane is vice captain.
Okay, so Lloris is both Tottenham captain and France captain. Supposedly meant to be a very good keeper. Not very good. I said Emerson Royal just been brought in. Haven't seen much of him yet. Davidson Sanchez bought in from Ajax, wasn't it? Never really reached the heights. Like, he's meant to be full of promise. He kind of just fell away. Eric Dyer is literally a meme of how he still plays football, right? Left back, you've got what's his name, Reguilon.
Yeah,
Oh,
Regulon.
right.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Sergio Regulon.
you Sergio Reguilon just brought him in for what was it, the start of that before last season
Yeah,
from
from Real
Real.
Madrid. Yeah.
Again, one of those like promising talents, not reaching the heights, too easily getting beaten. Midfield, you got Højbjerg, who is all right, but then he's playing what was it, Dele Alli, who is just
Yeah, I felt sorry for Dele Alli when the whole documentary. Remember that with Jose Mourinho.
yeah,
Jose Mourinho
because
just essentially went to war with Dele Alli because he was like,
yeah,
"You're a shit trainer, so I'm not going to play."
yeah, Dele
Um,
Alli was vilified. But the thing
yeah,
is that I get the whole thing of being upset because he was vilified on national television to millions of people, but if you're not training well, you're not going to play. What the
I
hell's the
mean,
point of you
I
being
don't
in the
think you
public?
have to train well. I think if you don't train well, then you've got to turn up on the pitch. You've got to get your shit
But,
together
yeah, but the
and
thing
play
is,
on the pitch. There are some
how are you
great
going to
players that don't train well.
how are you going to put yourself in contention? Because there's competition. You've got to apply yourself in training to make the manager choose you. If you're not training well, the manager's not going to choose you. So all you're going to do is stagnate and stagnate and stagnate. And Dele Alli, I mean, he's just the prime example of that. I mean, sort your heads out, mate, and I mean literally your hair sorted out. And then he's playing Ndombele, if you want to pronounce that,
In Dombele,
who
yeah.
wants to, who is the club's transfer record at like £65 million because he was really good at Lyon. He's come there and he's been bloody awful.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, and then you look at the forward players. So you got Lucas Moura, who's kind of just all right. He's gone pretty much down thing, and then you've got, I mean, their star player, in my opinion, Heung-min Son, who I don't know why he has signed a new contract,
Yeah,
but
I'd be
he
leaving if I
has.
were
He
him.
is just their best player, but he's not going to be around forever.
No.
And obviously you've got Kane, which I think just having Kane there is a toxic environment in himself
Yeah, because he
because
wants to leave.
he wants to leave. He wants to leave the whole bloody summit. It was a public affair. Okay, like maybe himself and the club like were private internally, but it was made the media and everything else and all the goings on made it a public affair. And all it done was shed negative attention and dragged it on all bloody summer. That him being there just puts the spotlight on the club even more when they just don't need it. What they need to do, my opinion, and again, same with United, I don't give a crap about Tottenham, but in my opinion, they need to get as much bloody money as they can for Kane, reinvest it in the club, get some good players in, and then quietly just go about the business without having the spotlight on them. Because again, that's a rebuilding process. Have Son as your main man, build a team around him, get good players in, and then quietly just go about your business, plodding away. Well, the situation they got themselves in is they got a manager who is not very good. He's bang average. Nuno, in my opinion. Well, I think he's a good manager, but I don't think he's very good. Um, you got a
I
situation
think
where,
Nuno's a good mid-table manager.
yeah, mid-table. Tottenham are slipping that way, and they should be going the opposite way.
Oh yeah, but they were slipping like that under
They're
Mourinho and
they're
before
ex-
that.
they're accepting mediocrity, and having Kane there when he is just so bang out of form, I don't think he cares. I think he's
Oh yeah, he
lost.
doesn't care. He's
He's
completely
lost any kind of
passionless.
motivation to be there. Like he was
They were
like
they
the
were
way
talking about that against Arsenal.
against Arsenal, he was the worst player on the pitch.
Yeah,
And
yeah, he just didn't care.
did you see Jamie Carragher's analysis of that?
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
mid
yeah.
and he said the space that Arsenal had in the midfield when you had I don't know what the tactics were, but you had Højbjerg, so you're sitting midfielder, and then you had Dombele and Dele Alli bombing forwards. She had all this space in the midfield available. And it's like, so the lineup was wrong, the tactics were wrong, no fight, no nothing. Northern Derby, and you're letting them waltz all over you. Like literally, the when you think about the textbook definition of banter, it was that performance. and there seems to be too many. Like people saying, like if there's too many, even anywhere near that kind of level, he's got to go.
Yeah. Can't disagree with you there. I can't disagree with you. So yeah, just. But who takes a job? No one wants the Tottenham job.
That's the thing. Even before
They're a mediocre club. To be fair, when you say that they accept mediocrity, to my mind, Spurs have always been mediocre. Even going as far back as Martin Jol, and
yeah,
even before that, they've always been a mediocre club.
yeah, they've always been. But the thing is that when they brought Poch in, he was the first guy who was actually dragging them somewhere. You know, they were fighting for top four. They were in a Champions League final, and then as soon as that not winning that final, all pretenses of what that's what I mean. All pretenses of like we want to drag this club to success went down the drain. You know,
Because
like
I think
it's
Poch
like
realised that's as good as it was going to
ambition.
get.
That's what I mean. Ambition. All the ambition went down the drain. What should have happened is, I mean, I'll use my club as an example. I don't want to seem like I keep harping on about my club, but I only use it because I know them best, right? Is that after we got to after we lost against Real Madrid 2018, right? The Champions League final, right? And there was a low point that because we had a really good season and like so many good matches in Champions League, and we come up against Real Madrid when they were at their peak, right? Because they started. There was last season they had Ronaldo,
Mm.
right? And they had Bale at his prime in that. So we got beat, and of course there's all the whole Salah and Ramos incident. Loris Karius, who literally wrecked his career out of one performance. Obviously Bale's overhead kick and that. So we were at a low point then. But what did we do? I'm not saying like we invested loads, but well, actually, no, we did. What we did is we sold Coutinho because he wants to go. Got two way over the odds of money for him, and we invested. We got Allison in, and we got Van Dijk in. Right? We Coutinho was well. In reality, he wasn't our star player, but he was. You know, we sold at one of our star players. You know, and this
Yeah.
echoes the Kane situation. Right? He wants to go. Kane wants to go, but we sold Coutinho, reinvest it in the squad, and then the next
Yeah.
season we went and fought for the Premier League. You know, you know, week by week with Man City, and we got 97 points, and we
Mm.
then won the Champions League next season. So what should have happened is Tottenham should have. I'm not saying like after that Champions League final they should have sold Kane, but this summer they should have sold Kane, and as I said before, reinvested it
Yeah.
in key positions, and then try to rebuild themselves, find a new identity. Because right now, like they just don't have one,
Yeah. I know
and
what
they're
you mean.
just Kane is not interested. Son, I mean, I'm pretty sure Son was promised that Kane was going to stay and he was going to be at his best because Kane, when Son's on form and Kane's on form, that makes Son better, right? But when Kane's not on form and Son has to do all the hard work himself, it's too much for one player to do.
Yeah.
So it's just not a good situation. Like and the thing is, you can't drop Kane because who have you then got to replace him? No one. So you
Yeah.
have to play him when he doesn't want to play. Even though he comes out and he says, "Oh, I'm committed to the club" and all shit like that, he's not, and you can see it. And it's yeah, it's just I'm not gonna say like I'm not gonna say it's sad to say. I don't really care. It's they're just turning into an average club like Arsenal now. Both of them are.
I mean, they've always been
Um,
average, to be honest, Tottenham.
but
They've always been
I mean,
average.
but the thing is that they were at crest, and then I'll just keep rolling down the hill again towards back where they were 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Uh,
I was going to say, like, Arsenal were pretty mediocre before Arsene Wenger turned up. So,
yeah, but he made them good.
yeah. In fact, I was just watching the BBC series about the start of the Premier League and how Arsene Wenger came in and kind of turned Arsenal from kind of a mediocre team with a bunch of alcoholic and gambling addicts into a
Yeah.
team that could win the Premier League title.
That's what I mean. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's not much else I can say. You know, each club of you need to have a revolutionary manager, and Tottenham have
And
never.
there aren't many left, and there aren't many new
No,
ideas left.
no,
That's the thing.
to be honest, it's not about the tactics anymore. It's about almost like the manager themselves. You know, you've not really got some of the best managers in the world are unique in the fact that they can just by being there can drag a club. You know,
Mm.
like I mean, use Pep and Klopp, right? Is that
Chalk
not
and
only
cheese.
yeah, not only are they the two best managers in the world, in my opinion,
I'll let
and
you go on.
we've heard your opinions about Pep, right? Um, okay, we won't use Pep then. We'll use.
Oh no, use Pep. Go.
Yeah,
Do your
right,
analogy. Pep and Klopp.
right. Is that not only do they have the football knowledge and brain, right? They have the persona and they have the personality and the confidence and the suavity about them and they talk the talk and they walk the walk and you know um and they just have something different about them to any other manager out there that can I'm talking more about Klopp here. He can
Yeah.
by himself he can just drag clubs like you hear about managers themselves being able to attract attention and attract players that want to play for
Yeah.
those managers,
Because they have a
right?
mythos about them. Same with Alex
Yeah,
Ferguson and Arsene Wenger when they were
exactly.
winning.
Like that's what I mean. Like Mourinho at Chelsea, and yeah, Wenger and Ferguson, Klopp. These kind of managers, they're almost like legendary status because it's like there's just something very, very, very unique about them that they just, they almost seem like invincible. There's no cracks in the facade they put on, you know.
Mm.
With Pep, I mean, I say use Pep as like the prime example, is that you always seem to when it doesn't go well, he doesn't handle it well. You know, you see, like when it doesn't go well, and he's trying to get in fights with the fans about attendance, or he's, and
Yeah.
it's I don't know what point I'm trying to make here. I'm just trying to say like
You're comparing chalk and cheese. That's what you're
I'm
doing.
saying, yeah, Tottenham don't have, and they've never had really. I don't
They
know.
don't have a manager that can drag them
Yeah,
out of the depths of which they of
yeah,
despair in which they find themselves.
but then Arsenal don't have that either.
And they haven't had that since Wenger left. Well, they really
Yeah,
haven't had that since Wenger was a. Actually, to be fair, I can tell you the exact moment Arsenal stopped being an elite team when they lost the Champions League final to Barcelona. It was that moment. That was the
yeah,
turning
that was.
point for
I mean, that was
Arsenal.
like what 2008, 2009, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was no. I think that was 2005. That was the moment when
2005.
Arsenal. Yeah, I think it was Arsenal. Because they were wearing the Highbury kit, the burgundy, the kind of claret kit.
See, I remember them losing to Barcelona. Wasn't it like 2007, 2008?
No, I thought it was. Oh, but yeah, no. When they were moving to the Emirates, it was 2006. Sorry,
Oh,
2006. I
right.
was a year out.
Yeah,
2006 Champions League final. They lost 2-1 to Barcelona, and that
yeah.
is where Arsenal peaked.
You
And
say they start going down
that
from
is the
there.
moment where they started because they never won a league title after that. They won loads of cups, but they never won a league title.
Yeah,
That's where the fourth place trophy started to set in. That was their peak. And Tottenham seemingly have suffered the same thing. They got into a Champions League final and okay, yes, they didn't win the league title, the league championship with
yeah,
Poch, but they reached the Champions League final and that was their peak. And it seems
yeah.
to have. So North London clubs, whenever they get to the Champions League final, good luck to Wealdstone and Barnet. Whenever they get into a Champions League final, they just that is their Everest. They get to the Champions League final, and then somebody boots them off of Everest, and
I
they
just
fall
don't
all
know
the way back down.
why. Unless Poch wants to go himself, I just don't get the reason why they got why like Like after Champions League final, not very much happened, and then you played that season after it, and they were terrible. Man, like Tottenham, they were terrible. I don't know why, and then they just got rid of him straight away. Like you just give the man some faith, give him some backing. He's the best manager one of the better managers you've had in years, and even up to this day, he's still better than the manager you've had up till now.
Yeah, I would say Poch was
And
better than Mourinho.
yeah, especially at that point in Mourinho's career.
Mm.
Like I just, I mean, look at, I mean, as you know, Poch was sitting there after the left Tottenham because he had confidence in his own ability as a manager, and he was waiting for the right job to come up.
He
And
was waiting
when,
for the United job.
yeah, right, but they decided to stick with Ollie and give him the full time job. What a mistake that was. And he went, okay, well, and PSG got rid of Thomas Tuchel, and they went, come on then. Now
You're an ex-player.
PSG, that's what I mean, yeah, ex-player. I don't think that really played a part in it. It might have done a little bit, but
Nah.
there's got right. You don't get the PSG job just by you got to have something about you. They've got smart business people at the top.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they're the club the way they are and they're ran the way they are. They've got
And they are,
good, smart business people at the top.
yeah.
They're well run. You got to have a bit
They
of
are.
something about you to get that job. So obviously, if Poch has got that bit of something about him that he gets the PSG job, but then he's not good enough for Man United, Tottenham. Look at
Yeah.
where they are at the minute.
I mean, I
You
would
know?
say, to your point of PSG, they have become a glamour club like the Milan clubs and Real Madrid because they're fashion capitals. Madrid, Milan,
Yeah,
Paris.
yeah, absolutely.
Which is why you get the Air
Hang on,
Jordan
hang on,
kits
hang on,
and
hang
massive
on.
sales.
But then you're talking about bloody London as a fashion city. Can you see any
Yeah,
fashionable clubs in London? No.
yeah, but Paris, Madrid, and Milan are more fashionable than London.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I get where you're coming from, but I just think that I don't see any way for Tottenham to turn this around.
no. Let's have a look at some of the names being linked. Just from Paddy Power, Graham Potter 3-1 as the favourite to replace. I just don't see why he would take that job and leave Brighton. Why would he? Why would he leave Brighton?
Brighton on literally all Brighton needs to do is get a good, decent striker or two, and they're just the world is their oyster.
The way
Look at the position they're in.
the way Brighton are going, maybe they should just put a bid on the table for Harry Kane.
They literally should. They literally should because they have a really he has a brand. You know what? He may not be like the most sort of well-known manager, but um,
Good
he's got
manager though.
a style of play that he knows how to play. He's trained, he's coached the players how to play it. He's got good and they play good football. All he need like they create loads of chances. Like all he need is a striker to be able to finish, and they will
Yeah.
be fighting for top seven.
Brendan Rodgers
Or at least
9-2, second favourite. I don't see Brendan Rodgers taking that job.
no,
Eddie Howe 5-1, third favourite with Paddy Power.
yeah,
I don't know if that's a good job for Eddie. I think
no,
I think he's left it a little bit too long to come back into the Premier League.
yeah. I
It's
think he
like
needs to start again in the championship.
I think he'd have to rebuild in the Championship. To be honest, I think he'd be looking at a club, maybe a Birmingham City or one of the
Nottingham Forest.
biggest city clubs. No, not in Nottingham Forest are too far down.
Yeah, okay.
Just one of the biggest city teams like
Yeah.
Coventry, maybe Birmingham.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest if they were a little bit higher up in the league and had better players.
Yeah.
But
So at a bare minimum, sort of mid-table championship club.
yeah. Fulham would be a good job for him, but they've got a manager, so
Swansea.
Yeah, they've got a manager. I wouldn't say Swansea was a good fit for him.
Okay.
Maybe a
Cardiff. Then
maybe Cardiff. Maybe a
Mick McCarthy available again.
if Sunderland get promoted, maybe a Sunderland.
Yeah.
That would be a good club for him.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I don't see him returning to the Premier League anytime soon. Maybe if Celtic get rid of their current manager, maybe they should go after.
Well, he will be, and
Eddie Howe.
we said Eddie Howe should have got that job.
We got a few comments by the way in the chat. Jacoby Boy says, on this. Spurs got to the Champions League final without Kane, and I still reckon to this day, with how poor the UCL final was that year, a fully hyped up Lucas Moura would have won Spurs that UCL over a tired and not sharp Kane.
Well,
I mean, they did get spanked by Liverpool. Let's be fair. Liverpool
to
were on the
fair,
ball, and Tottenham didn't show up.
It wasn't great, but we played better than them. I mean,
yeah.
You say, "Oh yeah, a fully hyped Lucas Moura on his own, would he have beaten us?" No, because I think in that match, Alisson was having a great match, and Van Dijk was having a great match. Kept Kane and Son quiet. So yeah, you could say, "Oh, he might have made a difference," but I don't. I think it's you're reaching there to say Lucas Moura on his own would have won the match because we played better than them. It wasn't great. It was a boring match. It was terrible, but we still played better than them.
No, there was no chance of Tottenham winning that match. Poch is 6-1, 15-2 for Roberto Martinez. Scott Parker's 9-1. Well, he's just taken the job at Bournemouth, so I don't see that. You know what? When he was Fulham manager last season, I would have said Scott Parker for the Tottenham job. I would have said that because he's an ex-player. Give him time. He probably would have needed. Sell Kane, bring in Scott Parker. Let him rebuild. Just admit that you fucked up. Sell Kane. Maybe sell. If Son wants to go, let him go and just completely rebuild.
No.
Completely rebuild. Except that you're going to finish 16th, 15th, and you're going to be shit. And just completely rebuild.
No. You can't sell both. No. Kane, definitely. I would not, definitely not in the same window, not say, oh yeah, sell Son as well. Because then you're relying on Scott Parker to be able to buy the necessary quality to replace them. And do you have faith in, I mean, maybe he does, but straight away, would you trust Scott Parker to come into a bigger club than he's managed before and buy the right quality?
Well, it wouldn't be his decision. They would have a director of football over him. He would probably end up being the head coach. And he would probably just get told, you're coaching these players, but we're not.
But he would give a list. He would give recommendations. You know, and then the scouting department would then follow up on those recommendations and scout the players.
I don't know. I just see if Parker had been appointed and Kane had left, I would have said that Son would have gone. Nah, I want to leave because that's when Tottenham.
I think
15th, 14th,
I think 15th. I think Son should have left. I would have taken Son right away because he is
fantastic.
I think he's way too good for Tottenham. I don't know, as I said before, I don't know why he signed that new contract because he thinks Harry Kane was going to stay and be at his best form. Harry Kane's not interested. Is probably going to go in January, maybe the summer at the latest.
Yeah.
And Son should have went, yeah, sorry guys, you know, I'm not seeing the ambition of the club here.
Yeah, time for me to go.
Time for me to go to a club that actually wants to better themselves.
I think they do need to clear it. They need a manager. And here's where Mourinho would have been perfect if they
the balls to clear out the track.
If they'd have brought him in, and this is what I felt that Manchester United should have done after Sir Alex Ferguson left. Instead of going straight to David Moyes, leave Moyes at Everton.
Yeah.
Bring in Mourinho and say milk what you can out of these players, and then afterwards get rid of them. And then once he brutally cut the players, get rid of Mourinho and then bring in Moyes and say, we are in a transitional period. We have a manager that long-term Sir Alex wanted. That is where you come in and he needs to build. Because Sir Alex had about 5 years before he won a trophy at Manchester United. Yeah. They were always talking about sacking him in like 89 or 1990.
Yeah.
And especially when Leeds won the Premier League ahead of Manchester United, the final Division 1 title before the Premier League. They were talking about getting rid of him. And then... obviously, we all know the story of Manchester United. They had legends that they then eventually decided to get rid of, like Mark Hughes and Steve Bruce, and then they brought in these kids. And we all remember what Alan Hansen said: you don't win anything with kids. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, to be fair, on the final day of the season, on Match of the Day, he did hold his hands up and say wrong about that. He did hold his hands up, to be fair, on that one. Yeah. But that's kind of what you needed with after Poch with Tottenham. Bring in Mourinho, clear out the crap, get rid of Dele Alli, get rid of Dyer, get rid of get rid of the crap, and then bring in somebody like Scott Parker and rebuild.
Yeah,
rebuild from the ground up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But they left it and they left it. Like just going back to the Man United sort of analogy you was using. When it was 2013, wasn't it, when Salk first retired?
Yeah.
And it was the end of the 2012-2013 season. So where was Mourinho there? Was he in a job?
I can't remember
Was he at Madrid
when
there?
Alex. No, I think he was already gone from that one.
But
the thing about Mourinho is he'd always coveted that job. He would have left Real Madrid for Manchester United, even if he had been there, because he'd always coveted that job. Like, whenever he used to talk about Sir Alex at Chelsea, there was never any mind games. There was always a respect. It wasn't like at Sir Alex versus Wenger. There was always a begrudging respect between Mourinho and Fergie, because Mourinho wanted that job. So he wanted to impress the people at Manchester United and say, I'm not going to disrespect your legendary manager. So when he goes, I'll take the job. And to be fair, he played the long game and got it in the end. Shame it was crap. But
what year did Mourinho go back to Chelsea?
That was after Fergie retired. So Fergie retired 2012, 2013. That was his final season in charge.
Yeah.
Mourinho was in 2012, 2013. He was managing Real Madrid. He'd left. Actually, no, he'd just left Real Madrid. But in 2013, he'd left Real Madrid, so he would have been available, and he went back to Chelsea. Yeah. He went back to Chelsea. So Manchester United went with David Moyes, and Mourinho went to Chelsea. So that would have been the perfect opportunity for Manchester United to take Mourinho and say, get 2-3 years, get what you can out of these players, then come. And then we'll start bringing in the younger players for a year or two, and then we'll cut Mourinho, bring in Moyes. So it's a 5-year plan. Get 3 years of just trying to milk these players, 2 years of getting rid of them and cutting them and bringing in the next generation, then get rid of Mourinho. Give Mourinho 5 years, get rid of him, bring in Moyes. That would have been my plan.
But instead, they got Moyes.
They got Moyes too early.
Yeah.
Moyes would have been a successful Manchester United manager had they brought him in at the right time with the right circumstances. But because the conditions weren't right, he was terrible. Yeah. But look at how he's managing West Ham United now. Yeah. That's what he could have been doing with Manchester United.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
In his first season or two, had they had Mourinho in before to clear out the crap, you could argue that Manchester United would have been a top 4 side with David Moyes. Just look at West Ham. And can you imagine David Moyes being able to manage? He would be licking his lips at the opportunity. He would be mad excited to have, like, you know, some of the talent that came through there. You know, your Lingards, your Rashfords. He would have just been like, yes, this is what I wanted.
Look what he did with Lingard last season. Yeah, what he did with Lingard made him a better player. You know, if Lingard's career wouldn't have gone the way it was if Mourinho was put in at the right time to nurture him.
Yeah, and Moisey at West Ham got the very best out of Lingard, and so much so to a point where Manchester United are no longer considering getting rid of Lingard, that they're actually that they're using him in that manner. So, you know, it's all retrospective, but for Tottenham,
they've waited too long.
They've waited too long. I remember in the summer at the Euros, Gary Lineker asking Jurgen Klinsmann to take the job. I remember that. Do you remember watching that where he's just like, Jurgen, do you want to take the job? Because they were so desperate to find someone. Yeah. Just someone. Who did they talk to? They talked to Conte, who was like, I'm not having any of that. Didn't they talk to sorry, no, that was Everton that wanted the Juventus boss. Who was it? I can't remember. No, not the current one, the previous one. I can't remember. Pirlo, yeah. I remember for like 2 days.
Gattuso.
Oh, Gattuso. No, Gattuso was linked with Tottenham. Pirlo was linked with Everton, and Gattuso was linked with Tottenham. And he held talks for like 3 days and went, nah.
Yeah. When you got Gattuso saying no, that's when you know it's bad.
Yeah. And that's where they were like, I don't know why they didn't just put the Tottenham job on Indeed. I would have applied for it. 6 months work, get sacked at the end of it, get a good compensation fee. Fantastic.
And you're on your CV, you would have put Premier League winners on Football Manager 2015 with Forest Green Rovers, something like that.
Oh no, I would have said World Cup winner with Mexico. World Cup winner with Mexico beat Brazil in the Copa America final because Mexico are normally an invitee nation to that competition. Yeah. And we beat France in the World Cup final by 3-2 in the 119th minute of the match. So yes, I am that good a manager.
Beat that, losers.
Took Wealdstone from the National League to the Championship. Ha ha ha. There you go. Awesome. You love to see it. Let's talk about Donny Van de Beek. So here's the thing, right? If I'm Donny, not Danny, for a moment, let's just swap the A for the O.
Yeah.
I'm Donny now. Donny sounds like Donny and Marie from Greece. Jesus. Well, this team is systematic. No, I'm not doing that. I unfortunately I know some of the songs from Greece. Yes. Well, Ollie was like, "You're the one that I want," and Donny's like, "No." God, more Grease jokes. Here's the thing, right? If I'm Donny Van de Beek right now, I'm walking into Ollie's office, or I don't know who replaced Ed Woodward. I don't know who's in that job at the moment, but whoever it is, I'm walking into their office, writing on a piece of paper, I'm fucking leaving, handing it to them, and said, "That is my transfer request. Send me back to Ajax." And I'd just be like to Ollie, "You either loan me back to Ajax or sell me back to Ajax. I'm not training. I'm not doing anything because you're not fucking picking me. You play Fred in front of me." And we saw this midweek in the Champions League because he even threw it. He threw something. Was it his vest at Ollie or something? He got really frustrated midweek because he was going to come off the bench.
He got subbed off.
Well, no, he was on the bench and he was going to come off it, and then Ollie changed his mind.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't blame him for throwing his vest to manager because you've got a not even a very good manager choosing bang average players to get ahead of you. When Donny Van de Beek was one of the sort of the shining lights of that Ajax, Champions League run, he was like one of their main players. He was very good, and he's gone to United, and I've never seen him start a match.
I think he's only played like 18 or 19 games for them in his entirety of his career.
In 2 years?
He's played 20 matches.
In 2 years?
With 1 goal. 20 games in 2 years. 2 seasons he's been there, 20 games. So, whereas for Ajax, he played 118 games in 5 years. 118 games, 28 goals. Just very good midfielder, very good prospect. 24 years old,
a young Dutch talent, and he's destroyed. Like his move has destroyed his career. Yeah. I'm not saying completely, but it's put it on a downward trend that he will quickly become fade into obscurity.
Apparently, that was it. He threw chewing gum at the assistant manager.
Lol. Funny. Michael Carrick.
Who was it? No, it's the old Hull boss. Who was it? The bold guy. I can't remember. Mike Phelan. That's it. Mike Phelan. Yeah. Who did a sterling job in charge of Hull, considering they had no money. Phelan. Yeah, it was his gum, and it was thrown at Phelan. I would have thrown it at Ole if I'd been him.
Straight
you know what? If I was Donny Van de Beek and I was sat on the bench, I would go to Staples don't exist anymore, do they? They don't exist, or office supply or office outlet, they don't exist. I would head to Ryman's, the nearest Ryman's, get a stack of A4 printer paper, and then everybody would be like, why have you got this paper? I put it on my lap, open it up, start making paper aeroplanes and throw them at Ole Gunnar Solskjær. That's what I would start doing. I was just going to say...
you get a straw, right in the back of all these heads.
Spitballs.
Yeah. Spitballs, yeah.
Spitball for Ole Gunnar Solskjær. It's just...
The thing is... £40 million for him.
Yeah. And here's the thing, right? Everyone saw this happening. Everyone last season was like, why are you signing him if you're not going to play him?
Yeah, and Ollie with his master plan went, don't question me. I know what I'm doing.
I think 4 weeks after he signed for Manchester United, even I was like, he should just leave.
Yeah, he should literally just what he should do? Literally just walk. Just so
walk.
You know what? Don't even. Just rip up. I'm just ripping up my contract. Bye bye.
Just terminate it. I'll agree to a mutual termination of my contract. Just let me go. Because I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to work with a freaking idiot called Ole Gunnar Solskjær. I don't want to. I should be on that pitch. Why is Fred on that pitch and not me? Like
he's 24 years old. Like he's still a kid, and he should be playing. He doesn't get into the he should be one of the first names on team sheets for Holland for Netherlands.
Yeah,
he's not, because he's not playing. And it's like he's a good player, and I just don't get it. Like I get him not playing every match, because you need to rest, you need to rotate, depending on what team you're playing. But he should be starting just way more than McFred.
Yeah, McFred.
That's what he calls Fred.
That's what we're gonna. That's your reference now, McFred. McTominay and Fred.
It's not a McChicken sandwich, it's a McFred. It
McFred.
Is.
And it's just shit.
Just pure shit on a bun, yeah. See? That's what it is. Like, I wish I had something to say, to add on, say, oh, maybe this is the reason, or maybe that's the reason. There's literally no reason.
There's no reason. Donny Van de Beek's agent, by the way, has come out and made it clear that his client wasn't to be used as a squad player in cup competitions this season, but that's exactly what's happened as well. So that they had apparently a cast iron agreement that he was going to start in cup matches at the very least. Yeah, but no, he's on the fucking bench.
He's on the bench. Like literally, you know what I would do? As soon as the manager said, right, here's the bench, and Johnny's sitting there going, oh, here we go again. I would literally walk out and say, you fucking prick, stop fucking putting me on the bench.
Yeah. Well, here's the great thing. Ole Gunnar Solskjær has come out and said, this is according to Sky Sports, Ole Gunnar Solskjær understands Donny Van de Beek's frustrations over lack of minutes, but insists Manchester United can't have sulkers.
Can't have sulkers. Well, here we go, Ollie. So he's literally calling them a sulker. If I was Donny Van de Beek, I'd go and tune into his Sky Sports and say, well, okay, well, firstly, screw you, Ole Gunnar Solskjær. Right? Screw you, middle finger up to him. And say, if I'm a sulker, so be it.
To be fair
if I'm a sulker. I'm sorry, but a kid wants to play football. He moves to play for a good club in Man United. He's not being picked. He's frustrated, but he can't complain about it because he's a sulker. Piss off, sulker. How dare they call him a sulker? A player wants to play. He's frustrated. What I don't get is, right, we all come into this preconception of football players, it's just about the money, right? They don't really care. And some players are like that. They're just pretty happy just to sit on the bench, pick up their paycheck, right? The vast majority of footballers, they got into the sport from a young age because they enjoyed playing football, right? And yeah, the money puts a spin on things, but at the end of the day, they still just want to play football. They want to play as much as they can. So when you're at a club, right, that are not the biggest club in the world, I mean, there's money in that, maybe, Man United, but what I'm saying is they're not in the best position at the minute themselves, they're not at their peak. You've got good players, right? But the position that you want to play in, the other players who are competing with you are nowhere near as good as you, and everyone knows it. And you're saying to the manager, please, can I play a little bit? Even just a little bit.
You want to know what I think?
The manager's going, no, don't be a sulker. I would be pissed off.
You want to know why I think he said this? It's because Ole Gunnar Solskjær spent his entire Manchester United career on that bench, and he never complained once. He never complained once. Mostly because he knew he wasn't fucking good enough to start for Manchester United.
Exactly. Each injury, you can't. Ollie can't say to a player, "Well, I played on the bench all the time, so therefore you can as well," because it's completely different circumstances.
Actually, that's kind of what he hinted at in a press conference, saying,
Well,
he
cool.
said, quote, "I manage a full squad of international footballers, competitive footballers who want to make a difference, want to play. They all want to be on the pitch, of course. Donny was ready to come on against Villarreal, as all the players should be. I've probably been a substitute more than anyone in this club, and you have to be ready all the time."
Yeah, well, he has been ready. You're just not picking him.
Exactly.
Like,
That
there's only
it's
so
not
many
a question
times.
of readiness.
But there's only so many times you can say to a player, "Get ready, Donny. You're going to be going on a bit," and then just going, "Oh, sorry, sit down, Donny. We're not picking you now." Like, how
Donny,
many
we've got
times in a row are
Marie.
they?
Fuck off.
Yeah, like Donny just finishes his warm up on the sidelines. "I'm ready, boss. Get me on." "Oh, sorry, Don. We're not putting you on now. We're putting this kid on." You know.
We found this young kid that was playing on the Xbox behind the scenes. We're going to shove him on. Ball boy, do you want to come on the pitch? This is Donny Van de Beek. He's a nobody. Don't worry about him.
Yeah, don't worry about him. You're better than him.
You're better than him. You're a ball boy.
I don't understand how any criticism can be put towards Donny Van de Beek, because he's not him
He's
him
not
himself.
played. He's not showed what he can do, so you can't criticize him.
The thing is, he's not making it a ruckus himself. Like, of course he's frustrated.
It's Manchester United fans that are saying, "Why aren't you playing this guy?"
Yeah, like this, like they haven't even seen him play properly, and they're all saying to us, "Yeah, Ollie? Have you seen him play for Ajax? He was very good. He's better than Fred McTominay. Give him a bloody chance." And he's just not doing it. And instead, he's being petulant, and going, "Oh well, he's in the same position as I was, but I didn't complain. So stop whinging, stop moaning, stop being a sulker." Like, is he even does he even understand and know his own players? Because he's clearly not whinging and sulking and moaning, is he? He wants to play football. It's what any football player wants to do. He wants to be on the pitch. Like, I get the whole thing of it's a group effort. You get your chance when you get your chance. Like, again, I make reference to my club. That's how Jurgen Klopp keeps everyone happy, because he knows he includes everyone. Everyone gets chances at some point or another.
Yeah.
So okay, you may not be happy on the bench, but you'll know that if you play well when you get your chance and you train well, then you've got as much of a chance as any other player. Whereas Donny Van de Beek probably going to train each day, going, "Why the fuck am I even here? Because I know no matter what I do here, try and impress the manager, he's not going to pick me. So why should I even bother?"
I would just not turn up. I would just be like, you know what?
Screw this. Why am I wasting my time?
You know what? If I was him, I really would have pissed them off. I'd turn up at FC United and Manchester and be like, "I'm cheering on you guys now." Just really piss him off. Sure, he's a proper United fan, but he'll go support the club set up by the United fans. Go do that and really piss him off. Spend a day there and just be like, "Well, where were you?" "Well, I was actually at a real club."
Really wind him up, yeah.
Yeah, really wind him up. Just go to war with Ollie.
Go to one of United's hated rivals, like Leeds or Liverpool or something.
Just turn up at Man City training ground and go, "Can I join in?"
Have a little kick around with you lads. I'm not really getting much of it.
Yeah, I've bought my gear. Can I have a bit of a kick about? Jumpers for. I've even got the jumpers for goalposts.
Or go to the local park and play with the kids, yeah, and say, "Yeah, lads."
Join a pub team. The Docking
Sunday League, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should do. You could get more of a chance, anywhere else.
Yeah, well, I mean, he should hand in a transfer request. I think it's a joke. The thing is, though, and I feel sorry for him in this aspect as well, because the Manchester United fans are saying, "You should play him, you should play him, you should play him." If he gets on the pitch and he's awful, that's it. That's his career over. And because there's so much hype and so much pressure, and it's just like, calm down, give the kid a chance. They're asking for the kid to be given a chance, but if he doesn't hit the ground running because of the amount of hype around him,
but it shouldn't.
Like,
but it shouldn't be like that, though. It's going to be like that, because they'll go on and the spotlight will be on him, because they'll go, "Well, why isn't he given a chance? He's starting now. Let's see what he's about."
Yeah.
And if he's not great from the start, people will go, "Well, But I think
Fred is better.
I think. Well,
No,
surely he can't be that
Fred.
bad. I mean, I think he should be on the pitch in his right position. I'll make sure that in his right position, because he was, to be honest, for Ajax he was playing as a number 10, and I think he should be a box to box, not one of the two sitting DMs, or two sitting midfielders. If he's put on, he's given a right chance, and you know what? You say to him, you know what? Just go and do your stuff. Don't worry about any expectations that people have of you. Just know the fact that you want to almost say to him, in a way, you want to say to him, don't worry about it, but then you don't want to say to him, oh, don't worry about it. Because you're definitely going to, no matter how bad you do, you're going to be in the squad next time around because you don't want him to get complacent. But you just want him to be able to show what he can do and give him time to show what he can do because he is just better than Ferry McTominay. And he give him a chance to show that, and he'll do so. So, or if he's just sick of it, he should just walk and go back to Ajax.
And that was this week's edition of the Football Fan Show podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. Give us a like on Facebook, facebook.com/The Football Fan Show. Go watch our live streams, twitch.tv/The Football Fan Show. Find us on YouTube. We've got a nice video about the Champions League club from an unrecognised country in Sheriff Tiraspol, or I Shot the Sheriff Tiraspol. We didn't even have time to talk about that on this week's podcast, but if you'd like to watch the live stream back where we do talk about it, it's going to be on YouTube. So go check us out there. We are not on next week because there is an international break. Huzzah! Not really. I hate international football. But, and by the way, this was recorded before Watford sacked their manager. So if you're wanting us to dissect that, you'll have to wait 2 weeks for that one. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you in a fortnight.